This is one of the coolest new tools in my shop. And I'm going to show you what it is and what it does. And I'm going to show you what the heck these things are behind me on the bottom of this cabinet. Now, some of you may or may not know about these Hafele leveling feet. Now, the tool that I showed you in the beginning, this is an adjustment tool. So I'm going to show you how this works in a second when I get this cabinet carcass onto the floor. I'm going to show you how easy it is with this system to level up your cabinet carcasses. Now, I'm switching over to this system rather than building those ladder style toe kicks that I've been building for so many years, just because this is so much quicker and much more efficient, and I don't have to use shims to level everything up. Now, this is not a sponsored video. I'm just showing you the options out there. I'm going to explain the costs of everything. I'm going to explain the cost of the tool and how the tool works. I have the cabinet carcass on its side, okay, because this is ready to be pulled off the bench. I need to slide it down, stand it up on the side over there so I can start making the other cabinet carcasses. So these leveling feet, if you can just take a look right here, these base plates has a little tab here, and what you do is you screw it into the bottom of the carcass, and this little tab actually sits and supports your side pieces. These leveling feet are press-in feet, so these spin out and in just so that you can level your cabinet on any surfaces. They come all the way out just like this, but before you put these in, they're actually press fit. The way this system comes, a two-part system here. You get the base, there are different bases, and then you get your legs. They come in different sizes depending on the height of your cabinets. I usually get them for 100 millimeters or roughly 102 millimeters for 4 inches, and they adjust all the way down from like 3 inches to 4.5 inches or 5 inches. I usually get those, but in this situation here with the built-in closet system that I'm doing, it's a little different. I need it to be a little lower because of the ceiling, and I need to stand these big things up without hitting the ceiling, and the way to do that, because they're going to have a filler panel at the top, is go at the maximum height of the 4-inch toe kick. So what I did was I got the ones that were a little bit smaller, and the way these install is you screw these onto the bottom of the cabinet, and then these, you see, they have these little splines all around. In the base plate here, you can see they have these little notches, and what you do is you fit those right into those notches, and then it's a press fit in. The front toe kick skin is just going to be the same 18 millimeter white melamine faced plywood. So for the toe kick skin, I want it to sit back, you know, just not as far as I would on a regular kitchen base cabinet, because then I would be back a total of 3.5 to 4 inches back. This here, I have this set back to only 3 inches, and then I have the toe kick skin sitting only about 2.25 inches from the front. And that's because this is a closet unit, and you don't really step towards it to work like on a counter, the way you would need that full 3.5 inches. So what I'm going to do here is I already set it back, I scribed the line, and then what I do is I take a piece of 18 millimeter scrap plywood and I just nail it into the bottom right between these right here. So now what happens is now that gives me something to nail my toe kick skins to. So after I install this and I adjust everything, I'm going to have this piece just butt right up against the scrap there, right in front of my leveling legs, and from the top here, I'm just going to nail through that to secure my toe kick skin after everything is actually leveled and installed screwed into the wall, into the joist, so that this is not going to go anywhere. We'll finish it off with this so that the bottom is hidden. Now you'll notice these notches here. These special notches in this base plate, that accepts like a quick clip. The clip is like a spring-loaded bracket, and then you would push that up in there, and then you would rock it forward, and it would lock it in place. The other type of clip that they have, it's a little plastic ring that screws onto the back of the toe kick skin. You mark the area where it's going to be, where the leg is, and then you screw that in there, and then you take that clip and you snap it in, and what it does is it goes around this and clips into that, so you can always pull that out. So you don't have to nail anything in place. I just put this strip in here because I got tons of scrap wood, it's free, and it's so easy to just put the toe kick in there. This is after you cut it to the size you need it, and just nail it along that top. Okay, so now you just get that, like I said, in place. You can see how the straight part of this is going to sit right at the edge of the bottom of the carcass there, and then this clip is going to go right onto the side and give you that support. And then you just screw that right in. Get your next piece. And you don't even have to worry about taking a square and putting it on here and worry about how you're screwing in place, because being that you're using the actual piece itself, you're squaring it up to the side of your cabinet line right there. So that's automatically squaring it up for you. And that's it. You just put 4 screws into the base plate. Make it nice and snug, don't over tighten it. And that's it. And then you have your leg, which you'll press fit in the way I showed you before. So now this tool right here has this little gear inside, and that gets caught up in these splines right here on the bottom of the foot. Okay, so now you imagine that this thing is sitting on the cabinet, and then from the front of the cabinet, you can take this tool and you're gonna just jam it right onto those feet right there, and then you can, by hand, it will raise and lower the foot so that you can level your cabinet. You go around adjusting each one of the feet, and then it just slides right back off. The cool thing about it is it has this little hex fitting in the back, and they actually give you, with the tool, they give you this little hex key adjustment that fits into your impact driver or your drill driver, whatever you choose to use it in. The tool gets put in just like this along the floor. All you got to do is you can spin it by hand, which, it's good for fine adjustment, but you can see how slow that leg is actually coming out of the base right there. But if you put your impact driver in there, and you can see how quick I can get it all the way back down to the lowest level, and then you can spin it out all the way. And you can see how fast that's coming out right there. And all the way back down. All right, so let's get this thing on the floor so that I can show you guys how I actually will adjust the level and plumb of the cabinet once it's sitting in place, technically where it's going to go. All right, so I'm going to get it to just about there. Now I'm going to support it with my legs so that it comes down nice and easy. And once I get that down on the floor here, just to that point right there, this is where I want to get to this side here and tip it up. Okay, there we go. All right, now have the cabinet sitting on the floor on those feet. So I'm going to get you a little bit closer. You can see what I'm doing. Now you can see by no means is my shop floor level. I mean, look at this thing rocking. Okay, what I'm going to do is, to make this simple, is I'm going to set my the height of my base, and then I'm going to use the tool here on the foot with the impact driver to make it go a lot quicker. Raise it up to the 3 inches on one side, bring it over to 3 on that side, all the time watching my level, making sure everything is perfectly level, and then also I have a level going this way here. That's how we're going to check plumb. This would be a great time for me to have somebody shooting this video for me, but I hope you can see this really good here. So I want this bottom here because this is going to be another part of my job that I'm doing for the walk-in closet. And I want this to be a 3-inch toe kick on this because there's an 8-foot ceiling, and being that this is a wide and deep cabinet, I want to be able to stand this up, have enough room at the top. Normally I would do a 4-inch toe kick. Also want a crown molding at the top, a big crown molding wrapping around this thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach my leveling tool. I'm going to use my impact driver with the attachment on it. It goes inside. So put that around the foot, and I want to raise this up to 3 inches. So I'll just hold my tape measure here, and what I'll do is I'll bring it up. That's reverse. Okay, right there, that's 3 inches. And then this side here, you can literally just use your hand if you want to and spin it down until it touches the floor. Right there, I'm making contact with the floor, and I'm also at 3 inches there. And now we're just going to check level. I'm actually going to come up slightly on this side to make it level. So if this was a real world situation, you can see how this works. We also want to check plumb because that's going to affect the front level as well. And I can see that the backs need to come up here. The backs are really low because I haven't adjusted those yet, so I'm going to raise those up. I'm going to do it just a little bit at a time. A little bit in the back there, a little bit back here, and you can see how this reaches. It's really cool to be able to get back there and not have to worry about it. reaching in. Okay, so we're dead level there. We're dead level here. And there's no rocking. Everything is completely level and plumb. And we're good. That's it. That's how fast it is. All right, so I have everything sitting plumb and level. So you've seen in past videos where I've had to shim up my cabinets, on a piece of plywood on the floor just to get them level so that they would connect. But this here, rock solid. There's no rocking back and forth at any level whatsoever. And you can see that we're sitting perfectly where we need to be. And I'm looking at it now from this angle here and this angle here. And you can see that it's perfectly level in both directions and perfectly plumb. So just a couple of seconds with this tool with the impact driver on there and you're off to the races. That's it. So now when we're in the client's home and I'm installing this, I'm just going to be up on a ladder, and before I get the other boxes in place, I'll look to see how far off the wall I am and if we need to put any shims there, and that's it. On the bottom, it's going to go right into the studs. I'll mark everything off, use a laser, and install it right into those studs, and all the boxes will be connected together. Okay, so let's talk about cost, upfront cost, and then your cost down the road. Okay, so if you get these from a wholesale supplier, then you're going to pay a lot less than if you get these on Amazon. So I'm not going to put a link to these on Amazon for the fact that you can get these a lot cheaper once you contact and find your local supplier. That's the best way to do it. So the base plates, I got them for about 88 cents a pop. The feet are a different story. Now, they're all different size range of feet. The leveling foot itself, which comes with the press fit piece that fits directly into the base plate, that is about $1.40, so that's what I get them for. The upfront cost for the tool, and this is a one-time buy on the tool. The tool is really expensive. I mean, for what it does, it's great, and it comes with this little attachment here, a little like 5mm piece that you really don't need because you can just use one that comes in your impact set, and that will definitely help you to move this gear a lot faster and adjust that cabinet. However, the upfront cost on this is about $156, but it is a one-time purchase, and then you have it for life unless you're an animal and you break it. But this thing is super well made, and I definitely am not going to be breaking this. I mean, consider the options of, I've been building ladder-style toe kicks out of my scrap plywood for years now. Think about the time and the cost of that. Yes, okay, it's scrap wood, so it's all pieces left over. However, your time is money. So the scrap that you have left over is not just going to be put in a pile and say, okay, I'm going to make some toe kicks out of this. You have to rip it down to the exact dimensions. In my case, I use 100mm. That's a 4-inch toe kick. Technically 102, but we go 100. So 100mm. Every piece has to be ripped to 100mm. Then I have to figure out the dimensions of that toe kick for each different job that I'm doing, whether it's a vanity, whether it's closet built-ins, whether it's a bookcase, whether it is a base cabinet for a kitchen. They're all different dimensions. So now you have to subtract the amount of distance you need from the front for your toe kick. You need to figure out that distance minus 36mm, which is the front and the back toe kick. So you see where I'm going with this? You're going to spend a better portion of a day or two building your toe kicks, your ladder toe kicks out of the scraps and cutting them up, rather than just taking these pieces, screwing them right into the bottom of the cabinet, and then leveling them with this tool. There's no shimming. There's no worry about shims moving. There's no worry about gluing the shims in place. So like I said, it's not a sponsored video. I'm just showing you the system that I'm changing over to after all these years. I really wish that I had done this a lot sooner. All right, guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. Hit that subscribe button if you liked it. Plenty more videos to come. I have so many things to do. I got tons of stuff left to do in the shop. I just have so much work that I'm doing for clients that right now the shop is not getting the treatment that I would like. So stick with me on this. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. If I don't see you before that, I'm hoping to get a video out before the new year, but this may be the last one before the year's end. So if you look out for some shorts, because once I post like shorter videos on Instagram, I post them sometimes on YouTube too. So if you're not on Instagram or Facebook, then you can see the shorts here on YouTube as well. So make sure that if you're looking for my videos and you don't see a long form video, then you will see a short sometime between now and next week. And so I hope everybody has a happy, healthy, and safe holiday season, and I will see you guys next time. I hope you guys get a lot of cool tools for Christmas.